Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you Project TBR Clear Down. I have referenced this video in a lot of my past videos and upcoming videos, but basically I am starting a new project which is completely wiping previous projects off my radar, and it is called Project TBR Clear Down. Not the most exciting of names, but gonna do what I need it to do. Basically, I started freaking out about the amount of books on my physical TBR. It's kind of unsustainable in my situation. The job that I have, I can be asked to relocate for work quite easily. I'm in a long distance relationship with my fiance living in America and me being in the UK, and I'm also in rented accommodation right now. So I just started really panicking about the size of my book collection. Yes, I think it's great. Yes, I am really happy with how many books I have overall, but I had to be more realistic, and in my current situation, this amount of unread books specifically is unsustainable. Even the amount of read books I have that I'm keeping is unsustainable, but I thought that the first step that I could make to making this a more manageable number of books is to make sure I'm reading books on my TBR that I don't think I'm going to want to keep forever. So Project TBR Clear Down was born, and basically, to summarize the project, it means that when I'm choosing my books now, I have to be reading books that either I don't think I'm going to rate over 4 stars and or I don't think I'm going to keep. I think I'm going to unhaul them. For example, there could be a book that I think it's probably not going to be a 5-star, but it might be a 4, but I don't think I'm going to reread it after I've read it, so it kind of counts for this project. So this was going to be a very quick video of me telling you that fact, just so that you knew what I was doing. Then I thought I could do with reorganizing my shelves, and I have now done that. So I'm gonna insert the little bit of footage from as I was doing that. This was yesterday, and then I stopped halfway, went out to a barbecue, came back very drunk, tried to carry on, and then I finished it off in my hungover state this morning. So there's not too much content. I'll insert that now and then we'll summarize what I've done. Okay, progress update. So this side is books I've read and will hold on to. This side is TBR books that I intend on reading and keeping. And these little piles here are for the TBR project. This one is like, do I need to keep this book? I read it a long time ago and can't really remember it. So that's a separate pile. So now the job is to get some of these books back on there. This is going to be a keep in there. So I found out I can fit 3 rows of paperbacks in these cubes. So this is going to be all paperbacks that I'm keeping. Sorry, I'm getting messages as I'm trying to film this. But yeah, this is going to be keeping read paperbacks, and I think I can fit a hell of a lot in this unit. Now though, I need to start getting some of these books off. Okay, so now this whole first row is empty. This is where I'm going to put the books that I kind of want to get read in the next couple months. Like, I think I can read a whole bookshelf, but that's where I want my priority TBR to be. So then the rest will be like other TBR and going into read, and then these will be paperbacks read. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. I don't know how much of this to bring you along for. sweating. It's been hours, like my hair is even done up, but I have finished the immediate TBR. So I've got 4.5 shelves full of things that ideally I'd like to read in the next 3 months, which is terrifying, completely unattainable, but we're gonna try anyway. So yeah, I have 4.5 shelves. Just to give you some examples, we have things like The Invocations, which is a Evernight exclusive edition. I don't like the sound of the book, but the book's pretty, so I'd like to sell it, read it and then sell it. We have things I found in the charity shop, like Another Life by Jodie Chapman, and also The Divorcees, which I was sent by the publisher. So there's a lot of things on here that it's not necessarily that I don't think I'm gonna like it at all. I just don't think they're books that I'm going to keep. So that shelf is done. I started doing my normal to be read paperback shelf. Realised that it was easier to finish one section and then move on. There are still books everywhere. I'm not going to finish doing this today, but I'm trying my best to get it all done. Yeah, I've got another 20-30 minutes before I need to get ready to go out for the afternoon. So I'm going to do a little bit more. I've also got a stack of books that I'm considering unhauling. I think for the fact that I've taken them off my shelves and even thought about it means I probably should unhaul them. I'll talk to you about those, I guess, at the end. But yeah, Project TBR Clear Down is progressing. Okay, I am so happy with it. I am finally done. We have my TBR shelf. This is my priority TBR down here. We have my normal TBR, which goes across this shelf, and the top of this one too. And then from here we have read books that aren't standard paperback sizes. Down, these are all read. And then we have all of my read paperbacks on this separate unit. I am so happy with this. It might not look like much from over here, but that has taken me a hell of a lot of work, hours, and I feel much better about my books. So these shelves are now fully reorganized. I'm just really excited to get stuck back into my books, and I think now splitting my priority TBR out especially makes everything feel much more manageable. If I'm like, oh, I need something to read but I really don't know what, but it should be a thriller, I can look at this like 4.5 shelves and pick a thriller out. I don't need to be looking through my entire thing. Oh, I've read that one. Have I read that one yet? Yeah, I have. It's going to be so much easier for me to pick my TBRs, get through some of these books. It's not that I don't want to find any favorites in these, because I think I'm going to have a pretty bad reading year now because I'm going to be reading books that I'm not too excited about. However, I just think it's going to be the best for my reading. So stay tuned, because in August I'm going to try and read 31 books in 31 days. That means I need to read quite a lot before I go away on my trip. I'm going to visit my fiance for 2 weeks in August, and I'm not doing any work while I'm there, so I'm just fully off the clock for 2 weeks. Saying that, I'm going to need to pick out about 10 books from this priority TBR to take with me, and I want to get through them all. So it's going to be an interesting time. I don't know what I'm going to take with me. Let me actually just count for you how many books are now on my priority TBR. So I just went and counted, and I have humbled myself a little bit because there are 126 books that are now a priority for me to read. That is pretty much the amount of books that would get me to reading 200 books by the end of this year. So it's a bit more of a project than I thought, but it's not completely unachievable, especially as I want to read 31 books in August. Like, one of these shelves, especially the paperback ones, they hold 30 to 32 books. So clearing out a whole one of those shelves would be absolutely amazing. We'll see if I can do it, but be assured I'm going to try my absolute hardest too. I think that is as much as I can say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know your opinions on this challenge. Ask me any questions you have. I might not have covered everything. But yeah, for now, that's all I have time for. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.